Golfing history boasts some legendary figures, pioneers of the game who lit up the course and helped shape the modern sports. Golfing World's resident coach Simon Holmes has been analysing the achievements of some of the greats of the game. Today, it's the turn of the one and only Lee Trevino.
Lee Trevino was born in 1939 in Texas in very humble beginnings. You know, not at all the privilege perhaps that Nicklaus had at Scioto Country Club, or the sort of the relationship that Arnold Palmer had with his father. So those were the sort of period that he grew up in, but he found his way to become an amazing champion. So he used to play golf as a caddy and play against some of the local members there. Then he went into the Marine Corps, and was able to play in some exhibition matches against guys like Orville Moody and people like that. And so it was quite late in his career, sort of as a 28-year-old, that he started to go and qualify for the big international championships. But he found success early, and really between sort of 70, 71, 72, he was the best player in the world. Nicklaus and Palmer and Tony Jacklin fell to his amazing game. You know, had very unorthodox looking swing, but he had this way of making it work. He had incredible ability to control the ball flight, probably from playing against those sort of wealthy gambling games, playing for his own money in the windy Texas golf courses. And when he went overseas, you know, he was a very happy-go-lucky sort of guy. You know, had amazing atmosphere and sort of amazing banter. And I mean, great quote. You know, Tony Jacklin once said to him as they were going off into the Open, you know, listen, Lee, I really don't want to talk at all today. And Lee said, oh, Tony, don't worry, mate. You don't have to say anything. You just have to listen. You know, he had that sort of a rapport, and he was incredibly sort of vivacious, outward going, so a superstar and very, very popular amongst the golf fans. So apart from the Masters tournament, which he never won, and he really sort of got off to a very bad start at the Masters, you know, probably felt so uncomfortable with sort of the elitism and atmosphere that he felt there. He also felt like it didn't really suit his fade. He later boycotted several of those opportunities that he had. They could have picked up all 4 of the major titles, but he did, as he got older and, you know, sort of maybe a bit more mature, say that it was one of his greatest regrets. So the Masters would be the only one that he didn't pick up a bit. In terms of his golf swing, you know, again, a very slight guy, quite a strong grip. And what he found was, you know, remember that sort of every single shot he had that kind of pre-shot routine with his feet, sort of that right foot first, left foot to open, and sort of stood very, very open to his target line. And then he would sort of loop his arms out, drop them back in with that kind of bowed down wrist. But amazing body posture that he got. He was able to really get those hands and the shaft back onto that original plane, sort of where the club is at its squarest, and just an absolutely pure ball striker. So in terms of his technique, you slow it down, you have a look, there's some great lessons for everybody there. Amazing ability to sort of rotate his body and keep those postures, those down pressures on the ball, which probably came from the amazing windy conditions that he had to grow up in. So for Lee Trevino, he was of that era where he had huge success equally on the Champions Tour, and he was incredibly important in adding his dynamic personality to that, drawing in the fans, drawing in those corporate sponsors to create that amazing showcase that now is the Champions Tour in the United States. So he played all the way through his career, unfortunately struck by lightning, which probably took a little bit of the sting out of his game, but he was an amazing shot maker, a brilliant ball striker. You know, came from a different side of the street in a way to sort of the Nicklauses, but he was his own man, and at his best, nobody could beat him.